welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be doing my makeup as I tell you guys some things that are just like running through my mind at the moment. Particularly one brand that just got into a bit of a scandal lately. Well, actually it's been a couple months since this happened, but I kind of want to just address it. So if you guys are wanting to purchase from a certain brand or just purchasing online, to just be really careful. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the story. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed if you're not already. Turn on your post notifications so you guys never miss an upload, and give this video a like if you like videos like these. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So I have like my little magic wand in my hand because I already got my primer on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna go ahead and carve out my brows. This is always super helpful, especially right now that COVID-19 is taking over our lives and we're just really prone to catching it. I'm not doing my eyebrows, obviously. I get my eyebrows threaded, so right now I can't really go to the salon because they're all closed. And yeah, I kind of just have to use primer to make my brows look really snatched. Okay, so around the holidays, whenever I had done my Black Friday and Cyber Monday shopping, there was a particular palette that I wanted. And you know, this brand always says that their palettes are going to be like 40 to 50% off, and that only the first 100 customers are going to get that deal, but it honestly is all just a lie. I've purchased from the brand several times and have purchased several hours after people, like 100 comments on their post saying that they already bought them, and there's still some available. You can put the code in and get them for a really good price. So yeah, I've always been like, I don't think that's true. I think they just do it to cause, like, you know, for people to really have like the FOMO, to not miss out, and to potentially just go onto their website as soon as possible and make the purchase. So it becomes something that at the end of the day is very impulsive, because you never want to miss out on getting a palette that looks really good, that you know is really pigmented, because they lead up to the end reveal. They do little sneak peeks and then you finally get to see the product. By the time you see the product, it's all hyped up because the pigment, and then, you know, the swatches, and then the packaging, like everything. The palettes are always killer. Their lashes, their highlighters, just like super bomb, right? So I went on their website on around like Black Friday. I believe it was, yeah, Black Friday or Thanksgiving that they were doing the sale. And if you're new to the makeup industry, then you might not know what brand I'm talking about. Or if you're not into indie brands at all, you may not know what brand I'm talking about. But this is a really popular brand. Like, it's popular to me because I've been with them. Like, I've been supporting them since they ever released their first product. I'm going to be using this palette because I'm not sure if I want to get rid of it or not. So I'm going to go ahead and use this palette to test out if I really want it. Let me start off with the blue. So I've pretty much known about this brand ever since they released their first palette, and I believe that was the initial launch of their brand. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember seeing any other products since before then. So I go ahead and I buy the palette, and it's amazing. I even film a look with it for my channel, but I don't know if I deleted the footage or if something went terrible or if I didn't like how the look turned out. I can't remember, but I ended up never posting the video. And then I believe I did show it to you guys for my eyeshadow collection in 2018. I tell you guys that this palette is really pretty. And I believe in 2018 when I did my eyeshadow collection, then they released, because they always do like food themed palettes, and that gives you a hint, but I'm not talking about Glamlight. I just don't want to say the brand name because I don't want them to potentially sue me. I know that, you know, it's like copyright if I do say their names, so yeah, I don't want to have their name out. But if you guys do want to, like, you know, you can do your own research, but I just know, like, for copyright reasons, I can't really say their name. So yeah, They always have like candy themed palettes. They have a milkshake palette. They have a burger palette. They release like a palette and it's all like candy inspired, right? So, ow, my head is itchy. So when they release their first palette, I buy it. I told you guys they sent out a code and you know, they're like, it's 50% off, 40% off, make sure you get it, it's gonna be gone, it's almost gone. So I go ahead and buy it. I get the palette. I think it's great. I think the pigment is great, the pans are large, and I think you're getting a really great deal. However, the palette on the actual site is always like 40 bucks or 50 bucks or 60 bucks, and I'm like, that's kind of expensive. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I think that they are phenomenal eyeshadows. I just don't think that they're worth that much money. So I think that's why they send out the coupon codes. And so like whenever they do send out the coupon codes, I'm just like going ahead and I'm like buying the palette. They release another like candy inspired cosmetic, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get them. There are 3 palettes and they are candy inspired. Like, they're actually inspired by candies this time. The first one was just kind of like inspired by fruit or something like that, but I actually think it's inspired by candy because it's called something around the line. It's called something with candy in it. So I go ahead and I buy the next collection. It's perfectly fine. I put in the code, I get a good deal on it. I'm gonna have to like look over my emails because I'm pretty sure I can recall how much I paid, maybe like 30 or 40 bucks max, right? Close to 2018, or maybe I did purchase, no, I'm pretty sure I purchased that palette in 2018, but I can't remember the first edition. All I know is that last year around Black Friday, they released another palette. They've been releasing a couple of different things. Like I said, they've been releasing like the milkshake palette. There was one that was like inspired by unicorns, and they all look bomb. So they released the second edition of the first palette that I bought, and I'm just like, you know what, this looks good. So on Black Friday, I go ahead and I log in, and well, I go to their sale, I put the palette in my bag, and if you guys don't use Afterpay, then you might not know what I'm talking about, but on their site they do have Afterpay. I believe it was like the first time around that I had seen that they had Afterpay on their site. So I was really intrigued and I really wanted to pay with Afterpay because around the holidays, you know, you kind of just want to budget a little bit more. So I was like, you know, I'm going to go ahead and pay with Afterpay. If not, I'll just go ahead and pay with a regular debit card. And as soon as I log in to pay with Afterpay, it keeps telling me that there's an error. And I go on to their Instagram and I'm like, hey, like, is Afterpay working? Like, you know, I'm just asking because it does say that it's available and I want to buy the collection. But then I'm like, you know what, maybe I'm not meeting the $35 mark because like I said, you need a coupon code. So I go ahead and I'm just like adding another palette that I really wanted into my cart. And I'm just like, alright, that's fine. Like, I'll just get this palette as well. Or I think I was going to get like a highlighter or something because I didn't really want any other palette. I just really wanted the original palette that I had gotten, but the second edition. And so, you know, like, I'm logging on and it's just not letting me buy it. So, you know, I kind of just wait. They said that the sale would continue to go on. They said that they extended it. And then I just completely give up. It's not letting me purchase the palette. I kept trying to pay with Afterpay because, like I said, I was like, you know what, it's not really that worth it. They're gonna have another sale in the summer or around the holidays. Like, I'll just wait for another sale because I really wanted to pay with Afterpay, which thank God I did. And thank God that I was in the situation that I was because I was about to get put into another situation. So I let time just kind of go by and I finally see the palette like resurface again, right? I'm like constantly checking them, just kind of making sure that, you know, they're responding to their customers, seeing if what was the reason that like Afterpay didn't work the first time and things like that. As I'm reading the comments on their page, I see something and I'm just like, wait a minute, what is going on? So let me zoom you guys into the eyes, because right now I'm just like blending. I placed the colors, now I'm going back in and blending with a small brush. So I'm going in and I'm I'm looking on their Instagram, and I see a bunch of comments and people are just like, hey, like I got a shipping notification but my package hasn't moved. Mind you, I checked that page a little bit like 1 or 2 months later, and this was when the COVID-19 thing wasn't happening. There wasn't a reason that people shouldn't have been getting the pre-orders and stuff like that, because the palette was said already available, like you were just getting first dibs on it. And I go onto their website to see, and their page is non-existent. It just tells you that they're working on it and you can't see it. When that happens, it's usually because the person locked the page, so no customers are allowed to see it. Unless you're the owner, then you can put in your login and you'll be able to see the whole website. So I was like, this is a bit sketchy. They've been in business for a while now and they've never edited their page for this long. I kept going back and more comments just kept surfacing that they were not getting their palettes and that they were going to be filing a dispute with their banks. Now, that happened in November. It is now almost May and people still have not gotten their palettes, which is kind of insane. It's pretty crazy because the brands never said to have done that. I've always had good experiences with them sending their stuff to me. So, you know, I'm constantly checking their page and just more and more people are like saying that they're going to be filing a dispute. You know, a lot of people did try to be patient with them and did try to give them time, but the owner also has his Instagram linked like in the website, like on the brand's Instagram. So you can actually just like click the ad and go to his page. And a lot of people were saying like, you know what, he's not really taking it seriously. Like he's still going on vacations and buying Range Rovers and, you know, like buying really expensive luxury cars and buying bags, and, you know, he looks like he's having a fine time. He's never addressed the fact that we've never gotten our products. So this was just getting people really angry, especially because the brand was getting trust. Like they were getting really good reviews, you know, people were talking about them. I saw a lot of people use their palettes. I felt like they were getting more and more known, and for them to just kind of be like, okay, well, we're gonna scam the hell out of you guys and not send out the products that you guys ordered over 4 months ago, yeah, we're just gonna get away with it. Now, I don't know about your particular bank, but for mine personally, I can go back and find a claim or like file a claim. I just have to make sure I like sign over the information, let my bank know and stuff like that. But sometimes they do tell you like, well, have you talked to the owner? Some banks do put more, you know, kind of like buts and things in the way. So I totally understand people's frustration if they do try to contact their bank and then the bank's like, well, you authorized that purchase, so you're kind of just like stuck with it now. Especially if you're just filing the claim now and it's been months since you've like, you know, had this issue. I've been looking and I've checked constantly. I've checked if he's like, you know, updated anything on his Instagram. Maybe if he's... I've also checked if people have gotten their palettes. No one has gotten their palettes, not a single person, I believe. I've checked all their tags. There's even a girl that won a giveaway, and I don't even know if they sent out the giveaway to her. I've never seen her post anything about it, because I also checked her page to see if like, hey, maybe they did send the giveaway. If not, that's a really crappy thing to do, especially because you expect a brand to like actually send you stuff, especially if they're going to be doing like a big giveaway. But that's also like what sucks. Like I always like, you know, I don't always like to post giveaway winners on my page. I don't always like to post a giveaway winner on my Instagram or my page, and that's not necessarily because like to seem sketchy or to not let you guys know who the winner is, but it's also to just protect their security or like their privacy, because I know some people just enter the giveaway and once they win, like some people, if I put the name somewhere, other people will go and like harass them and be like, well, send me something too, or like, you didn't deserve to win the giveaway, just like mean stuff. Like people are really like in your face and just like rude, and I've never wanted for someone to like be put in that position, which is why I personally don't put the giveaway winners on my page. I will tell you the giveaway is closed, I will tell you that I picked the winner, and I will contact the winner and send them their stuff and make sure it gets to them. I even send them their tracking number and everything. I always try to make those things secure for their sake, because I want them to have like a good experience and get their stuff. I don't ever want them to feel like I'm just keeping them waiting. I always try to ship next day, if not like next business day or whatever. But yeah, like giveaways are a little bit complicated, but like I said, I never really saw the girl post anything about a giveaway on her page. So I was just like, I don't know if she got her makeup or not. I didn't feel like bothering her and DMing her, but yeah, I'm not sure if she did. Yeah, that's like super crazy. I really am disappointed in the brand, because I own products from them and I don't even know if I want to include them in like future like makeup collections or stuff like that. I don't even know what to do with them, because obviously when I bought the products, none of this was going on. Everything was going fine. People were getting their products. No one was getting scammed and things like that. But I also don't want people to be like, oh, I'm intrigued to get this certain product and then not end up getting their product because I'm showing it off and I can't really tell you guys what brand it is that is going out and scamming people. So yeah, it's a really complicated situation, but I wanted to share it with you guys, and just like to be careful. You know, they should always have to send you a shipping notification. But if any time that you message customer service and they're not closed, especially right now, like it's a complicated time to message customer service because a lot of places are closed, you know, people are always going to be scamming. The guy seems to be well off and not give a care in the world. He's never apologized. He's never addressed it. You can go on his page and like comment that like, hey, like, where's our products? He will delete the comments. Like, and I just think that, I'm like, he's doing this on purpose. The brand is probably never going to come back, and if it does, like, who's gonna want to buy your stuff? You look like a scammer now. I personally think the palette was beautiful, but I'm so glad I didn't get it, because imagine the hassle of getting hyped for this palette and then having to contact my bank and be like, you know what, I got scammed and I'm gonna need my money back, you know? Like, it's just a disaster, and it's really disappointing, because makeup is something that so many people save up to buy, and for you to just like willingly like scam people and then just like have the audacity to delete comments, like, they're not bullying you, they're just people that want to know, like, hey man, like, if not, then just refund me. A lot of people can't get through to their banks and get the dispute, so they have to get an approved refund. But if he's not answering, and like, you know, like his he probably doesn't even have people in business anymore. Like, I highly doubt it, because the website is down. So I just think he just wanted to scam people. This was not a good way to end his brand. I know Blush Tribe is closing, and Blush Tribe didn't just like get products and scam people and, you know, be like, well, I'm closing my business, so I'll just end up with a bad reputation. No, like, they actually are still providing, still restocking, just like being really great. And it's unfortunate that the person that did this was kind of an indie brand owner, but that's not to say that every indie brand owner is going to do this to you, because they definitely are not. I buy from indie brands all the time, and they're really great, really nice, and, you know, just spend your money wisely, read reviews, and just do your research when you're buying things online, because you never know with these people out here doing things like this. So Another thing was that they're not, I know that so many of you guys are probably like, well, I know that me personally, when I have a bad experience with a brand, I always like to see how they treat like influencers compared to how they treat their customers. But I've seen a lot of brands that I personally, that are my favorite and that I support like so much, they actually treat customers and influencers and things like that the same. Obviously they do more marketing to PR influencers and stuff like that because they do want to get people to have reviews and stuff like that. At the end of the day, I'm still a customer. Even if I put out reviews, they don't have a clue who I am. But you know, it's kind of crazy. I think that they definitely put a lot of effort into being really kind to influencers, but they also have to be nice to a customer, because at the end of the day, these influencers are getting product, sponsored content and stuff like that to get people to buy the product, but they're not really always buying from them, you know? A lot of these influencers aren't rich, and that's why free product helps them out so much. So I was listening, just a couple of weeks ago, I saw a YouTuber that I really love. Her name is Too Much Mouth. I'll leave her YouTube link down below, but she did a video where she was going through and decluttering her her makeup collection, her eyeshadow palette collection. In that video, she mentions the brand that I am talking about today. Whenever she talked about the palette, it was the burger palette, and she decluttered it. She was like, you know what, like, I did think it was okay, but it took a long time to get the package to her, which I'm like, wow, so not even with influencers are they consistent. Which isn't shocking. Now that I'm on Twitter, I see more and more brands being really shady to influencers, and it's kind of like disgusting sometimes. But and just like wanting to get free content, and I'm like, no, like, in order for these influencers to pay their bills, you have to pay them for their content. You can't expect everything for free. Like, yeah, you're giving them makeup, but in return you want them to put like other products that they could be reviewing to the side just so they can review your product, and you're not paying them anything. It's weird. But yeah, she basically said that her package took forever to get to her, which was really surprising to me, honestly. And once I saw that, I was like, yeah, this brand's just like not going to really care about anyone, and they're just out for their own interest, which sucks, but it just is what it is. They do sell some of their stuff still on doll scale, but I'm pretty sure once they sell out, they won't be restocking, because like I said, I don't think they have inventory. And either way, on doll scale, you're paying full price, and I don't think those palettes are worth full price. You're going to be reviewing a palette that's like $40, $30, and I'm just like, Glamlight has those, and they are around the same price, but Glamlight is actually going to send you your product. So yeah, I think that's absolutely insane. I'm really sad that, like, I really like the brand, and I thought they were going to do great things, and I thought they were unique, and that they had amazing color stories. I was a really big fan of them, but then they just kept releasing stuff, and I was like, I kind of missed the sale, because like I said, they always did sales, so that's when I always like bought from them. So I kind of fell off their products for a while, but then I saw that palette on my timeline, and I really wanted it. And then that's finally whenever they started scamming people. There are more brands coming out with really unique products, and hopefully they'll come out with a color story like the palette that I wanted, so that way I can just buy it from them. I don't even know why their Instagram page is up. I honestly don't know. I mean, they still kind of have to exist. No one's gonna fully forget about them, but still. Just like, I feel really bad for all the people that wasted their money and never got anything in return. So yeah, the palette worked out pretty well. I know it doesn't look like I blended it much, but I did. It's diffused. It just looks a little crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and do my lower lash line now, and like I said, I wanted to do kind of like a rainbow to really try out all the colors. So I'm gonna try the reds now. I'm gonna try this like vibrant red and put it like towards my inner part. Then I want to try like an orange. The reason why I don't tend to set underneath of my eyes anymore is just because I feel like it's better for the pigments to really adhere to the skin. So I just kind of go in without any any setting powder underneath. This brand doesn't exist anymore. It's called Alluring, and it was called Alluring Cosmetics. I like them. Like, I actually really like their palette. Like, I don't think this one is bad at all. But like I said, they don't really exist anymore unless they change their name. But I tried looking them up on my Instagram and nothing came up. I even emails like to see if like they just like updated anyone like, hey, we're changing our name, but nothing. Like, I'm just going to assume that they went out of business or they closed down their business. But there are a lot of brands that make similar palettes to that. They're wholesale brands, they're private labels, so you're most likely able to get that palette still from like any other brand that sells like Morphe palettes like that. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face now, and I actually really like this brush. I bought it for my makeup plug. It's the All Over Heavenly Luxe complexion brush from IT Cosmetics. It's really good for foundation, the contour, and it has a little concealer brush, so I like it. The only thing is that whenever you use liquid products, you always have to wash your brush pretty often, because they tend to really just like get filled with product and stuff. So I'm just going to set underneath my eyes. I know nothing's really blended, but I really just want to set before I go ahead and do anything else. I also have to fill in my eyebrows. The other day I forgot to fill in my eyebrows, and I filmed a video using a new palette, and I was like, girl, I'm not gonna upload this with no eyebrows. So yeah, that went to crap. But what else? I don't know if you guys have been seeing the documentary on Netflix called Tiger King. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it, because you need to. Everyone's gonna talk about it, and then you're gonna be out of the loop and be like, I told you so. But it's a really good show. I really enjoyed it. I watched it because I listened to the podcast. Wow, I can't talk. So I listened to the podcast first, and the podcast went on Over My Dead Body. If you guys haven't listened to the podcast Over My Dead Body, please listen to it. It is phenomenal. I love that podcast. So yeah, I really like that podcast. I really do enjoy it, and they only release a couple episodes sometimes, just depending on like what case they're talking about. In this case, they did talk about Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin, so that was exciting. And I really, I did listen to it, but I was also like, I listened to it while I'm at work. So sometimes if I'm really into my work, so I was listening to it, but I was also working. So sometimes if I'm working and I'm like really into my work, I'm not like really paying attention fully. Like, I'll remember parts of the story, but I won't remember like everything. So I do know like the majority of the podcast was like talking about how Joe Exotic was gay. He had 2 husbands, and how, by the way, like, if you clearly haven't watched it, please don't watch this video, because then you're going to be so confused. But yeah, they just pretty much were talking about like the general stuff, and it was really interesting to me. So I kind of just was going off of that. I just kept telling my brother like, nah, I already watched the podcast, I know what you're talking about, and I don't feel like I need to actually watch the documentary. But once I actually watched the Netflix series, I was actually completely blown away and really intrigued by it. I watched the whole series in like a day, because I don't know, I think my baby was asleep, and it came around the time where I was like already starting my quarantine. So I definitely recommend that if you haven't seen it, to definitely check it out, because like I said, I think it's pretty interesting, and I think you'll like it if you're into like true crime. If you're into crazy people that are just like, you would think they're out of a Lifetime movie or just made up characters, you're definitely gonna enjoy Tiger King. Of course, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. But if you have, I just want to let you guys know that I don't think there is one good person in that documentary besides the people that were actually taking care of the tigers. Now that they've already been out for like a while, they have said, well, they have done a follow-up episode, and in the beginning, whenever they're interviewing the first guy, I forgot his name, I don't really remember his name too much, they were using him for, what's it called, to euthanize the tigers, which I think is like really, really sad. That part I did really dislike, how no one was really caring of them. I'm like, at the end of the day, these tigers are really dependent on you guys, and no one could have put, someone could have put a gun to my head and I still wouldn't kill an innocent tiger, because I just love animals, and I just would feel so freaking bad killing one, especially because tigers are so beautiful. Like the close-ups that they were doing, I'm like, please stop showing me these humans and please start showing me the tigers, because every single fact that they would like tell me about them, I was just so intrigued. And I feel like people see Tiger King and I'm like, this film at the end of the day is only what it is because of these tigers. So please stop going to zoos and supporting these sanctuaries that actually don't give a shit about the animals and are just looking for profit. Like Carol Baskin, I'm like, you're not doing anything either, girl. Like, you need to step back and stop acting like you're the freaking hero and like you have the best intentions for them, because you're not even paying your employees and you have a ton of money. I know you can do so, honey. So it's just like, Carol Baskin is also a horrible person, and I definitely think that she killed her husband. Like, she was acting way too suspicious to have not killed her husband. And what else? I have started watching Evil Genius, but I haven't really gone into the end of it. So yeah, but the first episode was pretty interesting. It's pretty much all I've watched on Netflix. I'm not really like someone that's always watching something on Netflix unless it's like something that I think is like super worth a watch. But most of the time, like, I'm at work or I'm doing something, so I don't really have time to watch a lot of documentaries. But when I do, I definitely, like, when it's a good one, I definitely like to take advantage and watch it. I used to watch like 13 Reasons Why and things like that. And I forgot what I was watching before then. I really liked the one I keep going back to, but I can't quite finish it yet, is the Aaron Hernandez, because I'm just like, I just think his mom is freaking terrible. But, you know, I do watch things like that sometimes just because I like to be educated and I like to know like the actual background of those things and like what happened in the case and stuff. So yeah, it is hard to watch. I think it definitely takes many people a lot of breaks in order to see it. I'm like close to finishing the series, but not quite there yet. Honestly, it's also because I haven't really had time, but it's also because I'm just like, it annoys me so much how so many people failed him. That's the part that I just can't really deal with the most. You know, I have a son, but his mother, like, do I even call you a mother? She doesn't deserve that title. she's just horrible. I have seen some follow-up stories where she has gotten beaten up multiple times in prison, and at first she wasn't wanting to admit what she did whenever she was getting questioned by her cellmates, but eventually they had to actually, like, I think whenever the person had gotten in there, like the person in charge, and had to review her case, they finally got to look at her like profile and asked her why she was in there. I think she did say she was in there for child endangerment, but she kept saying that her boyfriend did it, when clearly she took part in it too. She was not innocent. No matter how much she tries to convince herself that she is, she had just as much fault as he did. So I think they put the stepdad in death row, but I think Pearl will just spend life in prison, which sucks. I definitely think that both of them deserve to be on death row because both of them were awful fucking people, but you know, justice isn't always served. I mean, she will get to spend the rest of her life in jail, but I don't want to hear nothing about that, you know, about how she feels remorse and all this stuff, because I'm like, you did not care. Like, I understand that she has 2 other kids, but she wasn't really, she put so much hatred into Aaron that it just like really, I don't think there will ever be any remorse. I know Aaron was a really sweet boy and he loved his mom, so I'm sure that he would forgive her, and he didn't deserve to go out the way that he did, because I bet in that moment he was just so scared and so confused. But you know, I hope that he's in a better place. I know his actual like biological father was in prison at the time, which sucks that that's the news that he had to hear while he was being like arrested, well, while he was in prison. So yeah, I think it's very sad that like his dad had to find out that way, like while he was in jail, that his son had died. I don't think Pearl really wanted him around her son, and either way he did go to jail, so it's not like he could have had full custody of him. I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips, because yeah, I'm pretty sure at the end his dad did want full custody of Aaron, like especially with the outcome, but it was too late, and that's unfortunate. I felt so bad during the documentary whenever they were talking to his previous like his uncle, the one that had actually like wanted to be his caregiver, but then Pearl wanted him back or something like that. You know, they just really seemed like they really loved him. I think they were the only people that had really good interest towards the like well-being of Aaron, and I know that if they were still, he was still under their custody, like Aaron would be here, no question about it. But that's why it bothers me so much when people are just like homophobic for no reason. Even like there's no reason. I'm just like, they're not bothering you, they're not gonna turn this little kid gay just because Gabriel was happy. That doesn't mean that he was gay, and even if he was, like, that's just normal. Like, you're either gonna be straight or you're gonna be gay. Like, it's one or the other. Or you can be a freaking trap. Like, that brings you happiness, you know? But yeah, I think that's so unfortunate. His case always will get to me, because I just can't even imagine going through what he went through. He was such a sweet little boy. So yeah, guys, I'm pretty much finished up with the look. That is pretty much it for today's video. I just did the yellow liner on my waterline. Hopefully you guys can see it, but I just did a yellow liner to fully bring in the rainbow eyes. So I'm gonna do a quick little just like review on this palette. Like I said, it's no longer available, but these are the colors for any of you guys interested. These are the shades, and I wish I could depot these just to keep them. But I might just keep the palette because I like having it for reference when I'm doing like colorful looks. I'm gonna try to find like a dupe for it so that way I can just recommend you guys that one. Every single cosmetic brand tends to have the same formula. Like, it's no ifs or what's about it. Like, they're going to have a private label like packaging, so they can write Morphe, Cara Beauty, Alluring, any single name that they want. Like, they can just put it there because it's wholesale, it's a private label thing. You can do more research on it if you're curious about the whole private label thing. It's not a bad thing. I know a lot of people do it. That's usually how a lot of brands start. That's usually how a lot of brands start their companies, so I don't think there's an issue with it. And I mean, the pigments worked, so I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and found it interesting. I just felt like, you know what, let me do my makeup, and instead of just like, you know, let me tell them something that's like pretty interesting to me. If you like videos like these, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel down below. I know that we already hit 2,000 subscribers, and I told you guys I would be doing a giveaway that should be coming very, very soon. And yeah, turn on your post notifications so you guys never miss out on a video from me, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.